It is called, I was there. Rexrode got called Rexrode by multiple people yesterday at the golf tournament.
Yeah,
So,
that's right. People came
continuing
up to
to take the nation by storm.
calling me Rexrode, and also somebody said that they were going to blast Creed, I think, the whole
time?
the whole day.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool. If you like the same 3 songs over and over again. I mean, I've never heard a Creed deep cut. How bad is a Creed deep cut? Like, if these are their hit songs, how bad are their, like, whatever songs? My God, can you imagine?
I've heard some.
Someone tell me your favorite Creed deep cut if you're a Creed fan. I'd love to hear it. And then I'll just make up, like, lyrics to it and sing it to you. Okay?
What a hater.
Yeah, I know.
Wasn't there a conversation like 3 weeks ago that you had about being less harsh on Creed?
I know.
That just went out the door.
I know. There's just so much Creed, and then now Keezer brings it back, and sometimes I just lose control a little bit. Yeah. By the way, I got A48 going from Nashville to St. Louis, and then I got A40 going from St. Louis to Omaha. So we'll take that.
You're in good shape.
Well, yeah. we'll take that. I'm pivoting quickly.
Okay.
To Mike Wilson. You know how I love to make fun of my Vols homers. Do we buy what Mike Wilson just said? Is Tony Vitello the best coach and program builder in college baseball if he finishes the deal?
That's a strong
I'd
statement.
like to hear from both Tennessee and Vanderbilt fans, perhaps. I'll pick a random fan base. How about Vanderbilt fans?
Yeah.
WHMR.
I would like to hear from that too. I did.
That raised my
first
eyebrow.
thought when he said that, I did think, program builder. Tim Corbin? I don't know if I'd go best program builder for Vitello yet. But again, this largely comes down to how do you define program.
Right, because it's like, I mean, look, I like everything that Mike said to support that. He's not wrong.
Correct.
He basically has come in and immediately – now, we talked about this yesterday with Kuharski. Now, I absolutely – as bad as Tennessee baseball was and irrelevant, you still come into that place, and if you have a plan, whoever your AD is – remember, that was John Curry hire. Everybody better tip their cap to John Curry in terms of hiring a coach. Every once in a while, tip your cap. But – the Tennessee situation, irrelevance, and a lot being ignored by the fan base. You're still talking about a fan base that will rally around to a winner.
Sure.
And you're still talking about resources. So when you compare that to what Tim Corbin must have encountered when he came here more than 20 years ago to Vanderbilt, I still think that it's probably a tougher deal. I mean, Corbin, for most of his time at Vanderbilt, you're actually swimming upstream against university administrators and trustees who are basically hate athletics.
He's done a lot of it on his own, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
so I still would say in terms of the difficulty of it, I would have to give Corbin the edge.
I would agree.
And also the long term, all of the things, and they are beyond winning that are part of his program, pretty special. That said, what Vitello has done, and it is a different time, and it is program building is defined differently now.
Yes.
In college baseball. Well, it's pretty impressive, man. It's until we see, we saw the down year last year, losing some guys, and if some guys weren't performing their best and all that stuff, a little bit of injuries, and they still get to Omaha. This year, like Mike said, they looked thin on the mound, and A.J. Russell had to be basically your Friday starter, and then you lose him. And here they are, 2 wins from the Natty.
Yeah. No,
I like the debate. Let's hear it.
Look, right now, is he the best coach in college baseball right now? I mean, it's hard to argue against it, right? I mean, they're the winningest team in college baseball the last 4 years. Now, they still got to finish the deal here, right? Because if they lose this series, the knock is still going to be, well, that's great, but you don't have a championship to show for it. So there's still some work left to be done here for Vitello and for this program. But let's say they do it. Let's say they win 2 games here against Texas A&M and they finish the deal. I said it yesterday. Ole Miss has won a national championship recently. Mississippi State's won a national championship. LSU's won a national championship. Like, what you're really doing there is joining the club, right? Like, you're joining the club, and then the question is, all right, can you build on it, and are there multiple championships coming? But you got to join the club first, and Tennessee is 2 wins away from doing that. But, I mean, teams are winning national championships left and right in the SEC right now.
No, yeah, for sure. Again, this is the capper to a stretch in which you have, I'd say like a half a decade of consistent excellence means something, and so they've been the winningest program, in the past 4 seasons.
Yes.
So that's more than just rising up and grabbing one. And look, over time, maybe they do fall off for 2 years or whatever. Like, it's still not easy, especially, and this is where Corbin can absolutely attest, like, man, those recruiting classes, sometimes you shoot a little high, and then they end up not looking nearly as good because those guys just sign, and then it like that when you're at the highest level, that is one of the things, and really no other sport has to deal with that, So there's no guarantee it's going to continue the way it has, but that just was I had not kind of, I guess, really considered that notion, because there are other coaches in the sport too who have had long-term success, and including in the SEC, who have had long-term success with programs with consistency. But I think you can start to make the case with everything leading up to this, and then you seal the deal.
Eli on the text
at
line
least in the discussion
says, "Anchor down. Tell him to make the tournament 18 more times consecutively."
There you go. See, that's what I'm here for.
There we go. Josh says, "Vols fan here. Tim Corbin is the Nick Saban of college baseball, and until he retires, Tony will be chasing him. A national championship just makes him closer." This from Josh from Columbia on the text line.
You are rejected by Vol Twitter, sir. Are you really a Vols fan? Come on.
Another texter says, "Joe, you are a Vols homer.
Oh, boy.
You said Milton would get drafted before the 5th round," with a crying, laughing emoji face.
Didn't I say by the 5th? I think I said
by the
within the first 5 rounds.
Correct.
Yeah, I didn't. I did not feel good about 4th round.
Yeah.
But I did think that he would go in the 5th round. What? He went in the 6th, right?
I believe 6th, yes.
God, so dumb that I made that bet. What was our bet? Did I pay you?
Lunch. Still owed.
So I owe you lunch. Chase and Big Joe and their wildly successful show owe us
lunch from almost a calendar year ago.
And Nick Keyser's about to buy us some more hot honey pepperoni pizza, isn't he?
I think that may be the case.
I really don't have a problem with buying more of that. But, Joe, I'm catching up in this competition. I'm right there.
Not anymore, you're not. But
no?
You're right there. You're close.
Today's the last day, right?
Today's the last day. You are within striking distance of him.
Hey,
yes.
That's all that matters.
So I could still lose
You
and have
could
to pay?
still lose.
Oh, my God. Okay, so we got stakes.
Here we go. Let's go. So we'll get to that at 8:30, but you could still lose. Gordon in Nashville says, "Mississippi State's natty was a long time coming. Don't count your chickens before they hatch," Vols fans. That is
Sure.
true.
No. Hey, look, absolutely. Well, look, Florida State. I mean, there are great programs that, have had us rough. East Carolina is, I would say, a really good college baseball program.
Yes.
They've had some really good teams. They've never been to Omaha. It's
Right.
insane.
Keith on the text line, going back to the Mike Wilson comment, says Wes Rucker agrees. Wes catching some strays.
Oh, got to get
On the text
after
line.
Wes. Whenever there's a controversial call, I immediately go to Wes's Twitter.
It never disappoints. When they were calling out or safe, and then he just immediately, I thought he was safe. Tennessee fan. Okay. All right. Thank you, Wes.
I know some Vanderbilt fans who have a special affinity for Wes.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
615-737-1025 is our phone number, 615-737-1025. I'm just glad that apparently Wes Rucker and Kyle Tucker have repaired their beef.
I think they're cool now. I think they're good. I think they're buddies. I hope Kyle listens a lot. I've been hanging out with Kyle a lot. By the way, Kyle Tucker and I guarded each other in our staff hoops game in New York City this week.
Yeah.
He fouled the crap out of me. I love you, Kyle, but, man, he was fouling the crap out of me.
Did you call it?
Not really. It's kind of one of those things where they're trying to throw me entry passes in the post, and he just come and just threw me.
Good.
To knock them away. So, it's fine.
Well,
I love
you
you,
got to do
Kyle.
something when you're trying to deal with Joe Rexrode on the court.
I'm trying to get a question in here. Well, then ask the question. Don't.
Kyle also got some good video of me. I sent it to you guys.
Yeah, you did.
My
615.
stomach sweat.
737-1025, our phone number. More of your thoughts on our phone and text lines driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Robby and Rexrode, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Final hour, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Robby Stanley, Joe Rexrode, Nick Keyser here with you on this Friday morning, taking your thoughts on our phone and text lines driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Normally joined at this time by Teron Davenport, ESPN NFL Nation Titans reporter. He's off to a destination in parts unknown. Tropical destination, do we think?
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, he's going to Cabo.
Wow.
Heck yeah,
for
man.
him.
Everybody's going to these awesome places.
Yeah.
By the way, Kyle Tucker said his dad loved hearing about me Kyle fouling the bleep out of me as he drove north. Let me say this. Kyle had one hand on a rebound, and I went and roar and grabbed the rebound with two hands,
Yeah.
and I think I strained his shoulder or something. So I don't want to misrepresent what happened. I'm also a dirty player, okay? Just saying. His denials in the post were very physical. And he spent a lot of time covering John Calipari basketball.
Yeah.
So, he gets after it. He had some sweet post fadeaway jumpers.
Yeah.
So I will also say that. But I can continue to talk about our pickup game if you'd like.
Just things lately have had a tendency to get pretty physical with you on the basketball court out there.
Yeah.
Just something I'm picking up.
That's right. Well, we interns here are welcome to take me on. There's an intern here right now who is down 12-8 to me in the summer full court one-on-one battle.
Okay.
So any interns want to take me on, let's go.
What do you play to?
Pushing people around out there all the time, then hard to play.
Do you suppose I could push that intern around?
I don't. I do not.
We play to
11 win by 2 is what I hear.
There you go. 11 win by 2. Yeah.
Good to know.
By the way, at the Athletic, the best basketball player that we have is C.J. Moore. So,
Not you?
No, it's not me. Ben Pickman's also really good. Jesse Temple played college hoops. So no, I'm the fat guy in the post.
Okay, that's good. We had the Will Levis discussion earlier about just the conversation around him, and even that conversation generated some interesting thoughts on the text line of some people think he's really good, some people think he's really bad, some people have thought he was bad since the moment the Titans drafted him. That's part of this season that is going to be really interesting to see how he weathers the storm of a 17-game starting quarterback, new head coach, new offense. There's a lot being thrown on his plate this year. And that's part of the position. You got to figure out whether or not you can handle that at the NFL level. So, nobody feels sorry for Will Levis heading into all this. But I am interested more than anything to see, how quickly, if it's going to be put together and he's going to be good, how quickly can he do it? How much of a building process is not only him, but really this entire offense going to be? How long is it going to take for them to get going this year? Because, conventional wisdom would tell you, new coach, new play caller, new offense, new offensive line, new weapons, and a quarterback that's got 9 games under his belt probably would add up to some growing pains early on. How much growing pains early on can the Titans actually afford if they're going to make a run at a playoff spot this year? And how quickly can you get things kind of going and figured out that way? It's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, and we've had some Steelers fans who somehow think Mason Rudolph's really
I've seen that.
good or should have been the star there. That there's there's this scenario which is just hard for me to even really wrap my head around, but the scenario of the Titans are good enough to have won some games and be in some kind of a race, but it's so bad at QB / the offense that they feel like they need to make a switch. I can't imagine that being a possibility.
Don't think that's going to happen.
If that's the case, then Denard Wilson will be a head coach somewhere in 2025.
Yeah.
Right? I guess that their defense is just incredible, but it's just going just poorly on offense, then that's, I guess, possible. But it's, it's going to be Levis's season. And, there's just so much to find out. Beyond him, there's so much to find out about the Titans this year. New head coach. Those guys have been working out lately. Doesn't mean they're all guaranteed to work out forever, right? New OC, new DC, and, of course, you got the rookie left tackle, by the way. You got the who knows at right tackle. You got some, tight end. Is that good? I mean, there's a lot. You got the first-round pick from last year at left guard who you need to be way better. I mean, there's some known commodities at receiver and running back, but other than that, it's a lot of discovery.
But by the way, speaking of the offensive line, have you seen the PFF stuff that has Aaron Brewer ranked higher than Cushenberry? It's got Titans Twitter in a tizzy.
Kuharski mentioned that. He said, now, ranked him higher or ranked it as a better move?
Better move, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, first of all, I guess I've been somewhat of a Brewer apologist. He definitely got overwhelmed at times, but then you have people like Staley like, oh, he sucks. Like, he never did anything.
Well, he's 211 pounds trying to play center.
So Staley, who, of course, now has adopted PFF grades as something that he values,
That's his thing
but
this
ignores them with Aaron Brewer. But, yes, I think that's – here's what I said yesterday, Karski. I guess if you're looking at it in terms of Miami's scheme and maybe Brewer fits it perfectly, and so
no, this is position rankings. This is not move.
It's just position rankings,
yeah.
and they got Brewer over Cushenberry.
They got Brewer over Cushenberry.
That's wild.
What do you think of that?
I think
the Titans' disrespect lives on.
Yeah, I think that. Do you have the write-ups there? Like
here, I'll pull it up.
I think that's just part of why. Like, I don't dismiss Pro Football Focus. They do some things of value in terms of tracking things and turning those into underlying numbers that can be useful, but they have a lot of dumb crap. And this is among those things, I would say.
I would say so. I don't know why this thing won't pull up for me right now. But
maybe that's why the Broncos were okay. You know, maybe we're going to find out that, Cushenberry is not what we thought he was.
Well, I guess we'll see. And it feeds right into the Titans fans who think that there's just like either a narrative against them or maybe more accurately that nobody cares, nobody watches the Titans, and there's just natural disrespect.
But this is about a dude who was with the Broncos,
I know.
So,
but now he's with the Titans.
Yeah.
And now the guy that was with the Titans is improved now that he's walked away from the Titans.
Well, this reminds. It's like in college football, if like I'll do, like Auburn, Alabama, or Michigan State. Someone commits to like Auburn and they're a 3-star, and then all of a sudden Bama takes them away. Like, all of a sudden he's a 4-star. How about that? Also reminds me of, did you see the NFL.com thing about all the offensive tackles?
No.
Oh, they said incredible, like 8 offensive tackles, and they went through all of the announcements that good out, except for Latham. They just completely left him out. Just completely left Latham out of it.
Why do people hate the Titans so much?
They're trying to erase the Titans.
Trying to get them out of the league. 615-737-1025, our phone number. More of your thoughts on the Titans offense coming up next. You're listening to Robby and Rexrode, 1025-1063, The Game. Robby Stanley here. Attention business owners, CEOs, CFOs. You're not going to want to miss this event. NetSuite by Oracle hosting a day-long event on Tuesday, June 25th at the Conrad Hotel downtown. They're calling it Business Grows Here, and it's set up to help you grow your business. Spend the day learning from more than 15 speakers on stage, sharing their wisdom and their insights, including Jamie Siminoff, the founder of Ring Video Doorbell, and Burt Nihill, the CEO of the Tennessee Titans. Every speaker you hear will leave you with actionable strategies and tips that you can immediately apply to your business. Take all the notes you want. Meet people that can change the way you look at growing your business today. Apply to attend the business event of the year. NetSuite's Business Grows Here, happening Tuesday the 25th. It's free to attend if you qualify, so apply today to find out if you do while seats are still available. Go online to netsuite.com/Nashville. That's netsuite.com/Nashville. Today, 102.5 The Game's Chase McCabe and Joe Dubin will be broadcasting live from the Grove Golf Course from 3 to 6 p.m. with live updates on the Live Golf Tournament brought to you by Houston Clinic Orthopedics. Also, make sure you join us this July 4th at the 18th Annual Music City Hot Chicken Festival at East Park. It's a spectacular day packed with live music, contests, and, of course, hot chicken. It's free, so bring the whole family. Discover more at hotchickenfestival.com. Taking your thoughts on the Titans, 615-737-1025, our phone number, 615-737-1025. Got a texture that says, Brewer will get punked by Sweat 10 times out of 10. That would be an interesting matchup. Here's Aaron Brewer, and here's Devondre Sweat.
I would think that would not be.
According to Stilly, one is 550 pounds, and the other's 175.
Yes, according to Stilly, it just like fall on him.
Right.
What?
Aaron, move! Get out of the way.
That would be wild if they matched up. Like what would he do? Like, how do you even you know what I mean? Like, one of your takes is going to look stupid.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know. I'd love to. I mean, they play each other, so I'm looking forward to seeing it. Hopefully, both of them are on the field.
Yeah. I mean, look, I will say in all seriousness, like, that is the kind of matchup that is problematic for Aaron Brewer, right? I mean, it should be. Like, if Devondre Sweat needs to, in that matchup, he needs to eat.
But
so
what
to
if,
speak. But, not literally.
Just figuratively. Eat. What if Brewer lights him up? Like, what if Brewer pushes him back?
Well,
then we're going to have a big problem from 2 to 6 p.m.
I mean, yeah. I mean, even if Sweat, doesn't get in the kind of shape they want him to, I just can't see that happening.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Pro Football Focus says Aaron Brewer is great. Again, Aaron Brewer was fine. Aaron Brewer was not terrible. I mean, he really wasn't.
No, like when you start to list off problems on the Titans' offensive line, I'm not saying that he was a big solution, but he wasn't. He was not where you start when it comes to Titans' offensive line issues the last 2 years.
Offensive line play, what happens a lot is, like, if there are a handful of loud fails by an offensive lineman, this is even true a little bit, okay?
There we go.
I know, of Dillard. Go back last year and watch an entire game. You will find reps in which Andre Dillard looked like a competent, decent tackle. The problem is the horrible misses that would lead directly to his quarterback getting plunged into the ground are what you remember from the game, right?
He was starting the other day at Packers OTAs, and I about fell out of my chair.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, there you have some other offensive linemen that are not on the field at the moment, but they listed out, like, Rob Domofsky and Matt Schneidman listed out, like, the starting offensive group. And they're just like, at left tackle, Andre Dillard. I was like, good Lord.
You fainted.
No. That's Jordan Love. I'd sign that contract right now, no matter what it is.
Yeah, my gosh. Yeah, so is he – he's not like – is he going to be like the swing tackle for them?
He should be – if everybody's healthy, he should be like fourth.
Okay. You can – that's fine, I guess.
I don't know why he's on the team, but
like Brewer, yeah, there were some plays last year, certainly, when he just got gobbled up by a big guy.
Sure.
There were some plays last year, and like when his athleticism getting out there, in particular in the run game, and even like some pass, I mean, he was fine.
Yeah.
You felt like you needed an upgrade. I think there is definitely something to be said. In fact, Brian Callahan had a really good answer on basically like the value of more size and power at that position than they had. And he wasn't even asked. It wasn't asked compared to Brewer, but why do you want to be? So look, I think it was a good move for the Titans, but this is another great example of some people, in particular, one person is just going, "Oh, he sucked. Oh, and it's not true. It's just bad analysis. And it's like, if you're going to, again, I'm not a Pro Football Focus fan, but if you're going to start using that as justification for takes here and there, and then just throw it out the window when it comes to him,
yeah.
Are you not being intellectually dishonest?
I mean, yeah, I would think so.
Thank you.
I would think so.
Daddy, I may now say you suck. Everyone's
Wait, what was that? That was like a half drop. What's the whole drop?
Daddy, I may now say you suck. Everyone sucks. Goo goo gaga. Suck, suck, suck.
We have a new favorite for Rexrode.
Was that with us?
Yeah, I think so.
Was that the day that he said sharded?
I don't know. It's been after
Isn't
that.
Nick going to drop that? Is Nick going to drop that now?
We might.
You can say that word.
Strike three.
He's got so much at his
He's
disposal.
having
right
way
now.
too much fun.
He's got
with
way
this
too
file
much going on
he's
in
got.
there.
What do you make of this? I just saw this tweet from Diana Rossini. Quote, "It's unbelievable how tense and uptight head coaches and general managers are this time of year. So many of them are all over social media to check in on their players. One GM I spoke to today is counting down to get to camp so he doesn't have to check his phone out of fear." Jeez.
Wow.
These not grown adults. You can't trust them to be away from your building for 5 weeks without freaking out.
Yeah, news. It's just going to get worse too. By the way.
Yeah.
You know, potentially. So that's interesting. So they're just like freaked out about them getting out of shape and doing something dumb. I guess.
Yes, I don't know.
It's tough, man. It's still
Apparently-
better. It's still better than being a college coach.
Yeah, so the general managers that Diana Rossini talks to, some interesting people. They're scared to death.
Vrabel is huge.
Scared to death of Vrabel because of how big he is. He's, that guy's big. And I just don't know if we want that. I mean, that guy's a big dude. You got to order like the triple XL with the team outfit, the shorts, the polo, all that stuff he likes. He's a big guy, and I am terrified of my players not being around the building 24/7.
Is this the
Terrifying.
same GM?
I hope so.
What if it's your GM?
Well, I would fire him. I don't know. Like it's just wild to me. Like we are terrified of our players not being in the building. Okay.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, obviously, there. You hear the coaches say, "Hey, everybody got to do. Everybody's got to think about it. Like you used to not be able to track that at all, right? You just would be like, show up. But then again, also it used to be like you expect guys to show up kind of out of shape, and that's what camp is for. Like
right.
now we're gonna run your butt, and you're gonna drop 8 pounds, and you're gonna be. But now it's like, I feel like most of these guys, like they're working out like crazy in between, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds to me like they're like terrified of people get arrested or something.
Like dumb,
Yeah.
like making big mistakes, whatever. I mean, hey man. Justin Timberlake just got a DUI, and right where I just officiated a wedding, by the way.
That is true.
I'm like, you're Justin Timberlake, dude.
Yeah, you can't get anyone to drive a car.
You don't have the Uber app? Was it surge rates on the Uber app?
I can't afford it.
It's just amazing.
He lives in Nashville too now.
Yeah, everybody does. But like a guy like Sweat, in all seriousness with Sweat, like there's like if you're the Titans, like if I'm Rand Carthon, but like I might be sending a few extra texts his way. You know what I mean?
Well,
like
he needs to be around.
Well, that's true. But like that's the guy who it's so important when camp opens. To me, that's the other than like health of people, petite fair and all that. But like when camp opens, and of course, Devondre Sweat's not going to answer any weight questions. But you'd be able to see him.
Yeah,
and it's like, I thought he was moving extremely well when he was in rookie minicamp. So I've got a mental picture of that guy. So you would hope it'd be that or better. And if that's the case, then that bodes well for them.
615-737-1025 is our phone number, 615-737-1025. Coming up next, the final edition of the season of Weekend Winners. The Stanley Cup Final, Game 6 tonight. A couple of games that we know will happen with Tennessee and Texas A&M over the weekend. We'll get to all that and more coming up next. Join 1025 The Game and myself tomorrow from 10 to noon at the Coleman Tractor Company at 3613 Highway 31 West in White House for the Orange Day sales event. There'll be free lunch from 11 to 1, catered by Tesha's, live music, driver ride demos, door prizes, and you could enter to win an Echo battery-powered weed trimmer kit as well. Plus, check out all the one-day deals, including 10% off on all parts department purchases. The event runs from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. this Saturday, tomorrow, at the Coleman Tractor Company at 3613 Highway 31 West in White House. This is Robby and Rexrode, 1025, 1063, The Game.
It's time to pick some winners. We hope. Robby and Rexrode have weekend winners for you. Now
on ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
It is time for the final edition of the season. Weekend winners here on Robby and Rexrode. A standings update in the competition. I went 4-2 last week. No lock. Rexrode and Adam Vingan picking for Rexrode last week, and Nick Keyser. Both 2-4 with no lock, which brings the overall standing. I'm in first place, 60-42 overall, 12-5 on my locks, 72 points. Rexrode in second, 55-47, 11-6 on his locks, 66 points. Nick Keyser in third, 57-45 overall, 6-11 on his locks, which has killed him all year, 63 points. So just 3 points back of Rexrode for second place. Joe, you are 6 back of me for first.
So in theory, I could catch you here at the end. In theory.
In theory, you could.
So I have to make sure I have none of the same picks as you, though. Okay. You know?
You could try it.
I mean, basically.
You could try it.
Yeah.
But you got to hold off Keyser, too.
So can you pick all the picks, your picks first? Please?
Sure, yeah. See what we can do. All right, with that in mind, we begin with the Panthers and the Oilers coming up in Game 6 tonight in the Stanley Cup Final. I'm up first in this one. I've been talking about it for 2 days, so I'm just going to go ahead and pick it. The Panthers are going to close it out tonight and going to win. Everybody's picking Edmonton to win. Everybody thinks the Oilers are coming back home and winning the game and forcing the Game 7. And when everybody starts to think something like that, I like to go the other way. So I think Florida wins tonight, wins the Stanley Cup on the road in Edmonton. I will go with the Panthers. Joe Rexrode, your selection in Game 6 between the Panthers and the Oilers.
Well, I agree with you, but I'm going to pick the other way because I'm trying to catch you. So give me the Oilers.
Going with the Oilers.
I mean, like, we're allowed to do that, right?
Sure, of course.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Keyser, your pick between the Panthers and the Oilers in Game 6.
There will be a Game 7. So I am going with the Oilers, and I'm not going to make a player prop. But if I did.
I thought you were making it your lock.
I thought he was too.
No, I'm not going to make it my lock. Well, you know what? Might as well. Let's just go ahead.
Wow.
I'm guaranteeing a Game 7. Why not? I think it will be a really fun game in Edmonton. It's unmatched, so looking forward to it.
All right. Tennessee and Texas A&M, Game 1 of the College World Series Final from Omaha. Joe Rexrode, you will be there live and in person. Who you got in Game 1 between Tennessee and Texas A&M?
So I'm going to, without knowing the Aggies' pitching plan, I'm going to presume the ace, and I see the same thing unfolding that happened with Vanderbilt, Michigan 5 years ago. The ace getting that win, putting all the pressure on the better team, and then the better team 5 years ago responded with 2 straight wins to win the national championship. I'm going to go Aggies, Game 1.
Going with the Aggies in Game 1. Nick Keyser, Texas A&M, Tennessee in Game 1.
I'm going to go with the Vols in Game 1. They're rested. I think they've been rolling really well the first 3 games. We know that storyline, how close some of them have been. But give me Tennessee in Game 1.
I will go Tennessee Game 1 as well. I just think they're rolling right now, and I think they're going to keep rolling in Game 1 against Texas A&M. All right, Game 2, which will be on Sunday. Nick Keyser, A&M, Tennessee Game 2.
I think A&M will be adjusted, so give me A&M in Game 2.
So going with Texas A&M in Game 2. I'm going Tennessee. I think they're going to win both. I think Tennessee wins both. They win the national championship. Back-to-back, boom, boom. 2 games in a row, they win.
That's pretty much a guarantee, Robby.
We'll see. Joe Rexrode, Tennessee and Texas A&M, Game 2. I'm going to assume you're going to pick Tennessee.
Well, I mean, I could just pick – I guess I could pick the Aggies to just quickly win the Natty since to be different from you.
You could.
But, no, I guess I won't do that, and I'll just need you to go over the rest of the way. I'll need to get my lock.
Okay. Let's see what happens there. We move to the individual portion of the program. Joe Rexrode, your first individual selection.
Tigers, White Sox, tonight. Tigers, lock. Not that the Tigers are anything special or anything to write home about. But, my God, the White Sox are one of the worst teams in the history of pro sports, and I love it.
Tigers minus 1.5, locking down on the Detroit Tigers against the Chicago White Sox. Nick Keyser, your first individual selection.
A little bit of Euros this evening. I'm going to
Now,
go.
hold on here for a minute. Because you did this last week, and you picked a team that was an overwhelming favorite to win, which I didn't realize until after the competition. You picked somebody. Who'd you pick last week? Germany to take down Scotland.
You're cheating,
or something like that.
Yeah. You don't even know.
I didn't know much about it last week. I got a hunch. to pick that game last week. So
It's like saying, I'll take Alabama against Mercer.
I just got this feeling, you know?
Anyway, what's your pick?
I don't know if I should make a soccer pick now. By golly,
Are the lines like 0.5?
I've got the lines up right now. So you tell me what your pick is, and I'll tell you whether or not it's acceptable.
Oh my gosh, France over the Netherlands. That's what I was thinking. They do have Mbappe.
I mean,
They're the favorite.
Yes. Can I pick a favorite?
I mean, soccer, man.
You picked a White Sox game, dude.
It's got a line, -1.5. They either have to win by more or less.
We
also do pick'ems in this contest too. So
I mean, in hockey, we just picked the game.
exactly.
Yeah, in hockey, it's the National Hockey League where the teams are even.
It's also the last week of this.
I
Just
like,
let me have it.
I like how Robbie's up 9 on you. You can't possibly catch him.
And he's
still,
over here
he
bitching
is
about
like-
it. Yeah.
I don't like people who don't sit there and take the competition seriously. That's what we're doing here.
If I could pick tennis, I would have done it.
Is the Netherlands legit?
I guess.
Are they
I don't
legit?
know very much.
Okay, I trust Frazier.
Whatever.
Frazier
France
says it's
versus the
legit.
Netherlands. Yeah, Frazier's the one that told him to pick Germany last week and won by 4 goals.
Hey, I got this crazy idea for you, man.
All right. I guess we allow it. All right, my first individual pick, now that I'm successfully pissed. Give me the Yankees -1.5 against the Braves. Make it my lock.
By the
New
way,
York Yankees.
You're allowed to say the word. You're allowed to say what he just said. Don't drop this.
Joe Rexrode, your second individual selection.
What'd you pick there? Yankees?
Yes.
Yeah, Tigers, White Sox, Saturday. Lock that too. Give me 2 locks.
I assume the Tigers are going to be favored on Saturday, too. You just going to go
A
the
mighty
whole
team
series?
that will not yield. No, I'm not. I thought about it, but
All right. Nick Keyser, your second individual selection.
Nashville
Soccer,
SC.
I'm coming in there.
Nashville SC will draw against New York City this weekend.
Okay. A
Okay.
draw.
I like it. That might be the first draw that I can recall.
I think you called a shutout one time, right, Joe? Way back?
I don't know. I guess so. Give me the Brewers +1.5 against the Padres for my second pick. Keyser, your final individual selection.
WNBA, the Fever -2.5 over the Atlanta Dream.
Fever -2.5 against
Why
the
not?
Dream. Okay.
Okay.
Joe, your final
Well,
individual selection.
now we can have some more controversy. Okay, so you said the Fever's -2.5.
Yeah, the Dreamer +2.5.
Okay, so I got Fever's son. I got Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese. There's no line at this point.
How many times do they play?
Well,
They get more than a day off?
There's a rivalry.
Good gracious.
So there's no line. They're both bad. The Fever have become better. It's in Chicago. I'm picking the Sun. I think the Sun are going to win this game. Can I just pick the game straight up?
Well, if Keyser can, you can. Sure.
There we go. All right.
Who are they playing? Sun and Fever?
Fever
When is that,
Sun.
Sunday?
Go with the Sun.
All right.
I think Chicago will get a little measure of revenge there.
Okay. My final individual selection.
Oh, wait. I said Sun. Sky. Chicago Sky. Okay? Let's make sure we have that right. So I'm going with I actually picked the wrong team to win the game. What the hell is wrong with people?
So what is your pick?
Sky. The Sky, not Sun. Okay. I'm picking Sky, not Sun. Thank you.
Thank God this is the last one of the year. The Reds +1.5 against the Red Sox. My selection.
Nice.
Jeez.
That was one of the best ones we've ever done.
It was. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. Keys are in there picking the Euros and then has no idea what he's picking.
At least Joe and I have diversity in our picks.
I guess.
I'll take
One of us is winning the competition.
but when you pick all these Australia rules games, I mean, you may have picked a massive favorite. I didn't know. I had no
No, man.
idea.
They had lines.
Did they? Did you go
Yeah.
with lines with those? Okay.
bro.
All right. Okay.
615-737-1025. Our phone number. We'll get into Tennessee and Texas A&M for the national title coming up next. You're listening to Robby and Rexrode, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Welcome back in. Final segment of the day. Robby and Rexrode, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Robby Stanley, Joe Rexrode, Nick Keyser here with you on this Friday morning. Live from our Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership where the buzz is always about great service. You look like you had something you were laughing at.
Yeah, well, first of all, Dennis says Netherlands legit. David said, I forgot this, the Preds were really bad at that point, so I just, on Preds Pick to Click, I just picked nobody. And I was right.
You got it, yeah.
I got shut out. And also, Keith says, I'm surprised Keyser didn't pick Miss Wanda and Edna in the neighborhood pickleball tournament. Maybe next year.
That's why he's the GOAT.
After you buy us more hot honey and pepperoni pizza,
yeah,
maybe next year.
Maybe
if
so.
I lose to him this weekend, if he passes me this weekend, I have to buy the pizza. Man,
It's a win-win. We get the pizza. I don't really care.
Okay. Well, then why don't you just pay every time then? We'll just make that the rule.
It wouldn't be a competition, Joe.
Well, we'll have you buy the pizza, and then the competition will be the beers.
Or maybe next year Paul Kaharski can play in place of me, and then you guys can have him buy your own stuff.
Well, maybe. I mean, right now what we know is people not named Nick Keyser on this radio station don't really pay up the bets. Rexrode still owes me a lunch.
That is true.
Chasing Big Joe still owe all of us a lunch from a year ago. I don't know what we're doing around here.
I don't know either.
Just a lot of empty promises here.
Chasing Big Joe. We got Forrest Company next, 9 to noon, which is awesome. But also Chasing Big Joe and like the toast of the town, and they're just out vacation. What are they doing? They just out on the beach? What are they doing?
Just hanging out.
Yeah, just okay.
Just hanging out. But I mean, so that bet for lunch was the Tennessee-Georgia game,
Right.
a year ago in football.
It was almost a year ago.
Thought it was asinine that
You
we
guys
thought that Georgia might beat Tennessee in football.
Georgia's beating Tennessee? What are these people looking at?
So we bet lunch on it, and I haven't seen that lunch yet.
They should buy us a lunch crawl in Nashville.
I agree. Tennessee taking on Texas A&M in the College World Series final. We had Mike Wilson from the Knoxville News Sentinel on earlier in the show. If you missed that interview, check it out. Robby and Rexrode, wherever you get your podcast. Really fascinated to see the pitching matchup here. You know, we talked about the ace for Texas A&M. You know, can Tennessee continue to get the same level of pitching that they've gotten, specifically the last two times they've been out there? I assume you're probably going to be right, and that they're going to handle the rotation the same way they have. So it probably means Drew Beam on Sunday in Game 2. But interested to see if Tennessee can keep this thing rolling here. You know, Mike Wilson talked about it earlier. He picked Texas A&M heading into the tournament. Said right now with the way Tennessee's playing, he'd take Tennessee against anybody. Tennessee is the betting favorite heading into this, but it's a big-time matchup between Tennessee and Texas A&M. Tennessee wins the SEC regular season title, the SEC tournament championship. Only played A&M one time throughout all of that, and that was in the middle of the tournament down there in Hoover. So wouldn't it be something if they win the SEC regular season title, win the SEC tournament, win the national championship, or if you win both the SEC options and then get beat by an SEC team in the final, that'd be something.
Yeah.
Tough one.
Either way, it's I mean, the SEC, the ACC challenge didn't turn out to be too much of a thing, but this is, and obviously these are two programs that have had a lot of success, but not this ultimate success. And like Mike Wilson said, I mean, Braden Montgomery is a great player for them. Hurt himself against Oregon with an awkward slide in the home, so they've been reduced a little bit there. But Ryan Prager, I think that's the move for Texas A&M. I would do exactly what Mike Wilson said. The Vols now have two strong spots starting the way Sechrist is pitching. Certainly Beam, his last outing was huge for the Vols. I think I would go with Prager and say, you know what? Go out there and dominate and take command, and then all the pressure's on them to win 2 in a row. And I still, at that point, would pick Tennessee to win the series because I think from there, Texas A&M's pitching gets a lot more ordinary. But I think that's the move for Texas A&M.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see if that's the way they choose to handle it. And then if you're Tennessee and that's the way they go, and you're able to jump on their starter there, like
right,
what a big moment that would be, right? Like if you could find a way to win that game, if that's what they did, then you'd really be sitting pretty if you're Tennessee, if you can find a way to win game one, if that's the way it went.
Yeah, you'd be looking at probably a Sunday afternoon celebration.
Drew Beam's got to pitch. That's the other thing here. He was so good against North Carolina, and prior to that, kind of heading into the tournament, he'd been, okay, up and down. He was dominant against North Carolina. So is that the version of Drew Beam you're going to get on Sunday? Because if so, that's a pretty good weapon to have in your back pocket for game 2. You know, he's been hit or miss at times this year. Obviously the ability is there. He's pitched in a lot of big moments for this team. Interested to see if he can rise to the occasion again, like he did his first start in Omaha.
Yeah, that was probably as big a question. Well, the whole pitching was the question, but you know, it went downhill fast for him against Evansville.
Yep.
And you're like, man, that's last time pitching in that stadium, potentially, because who knew what was going to happen? I mean, I still thought the Vols were going to win that series, but potentially, like, that's it for them, and it had continued kind of a concerning trend. So for him to bring it all back to how great he was in that first College World Series game against North Carolina, that's a big deal. And so that's what the Vols have to count on again in his last chance to pitch for them.
What's your sense for this fan base and the energy level kind of heading into this thing? It feels like it's kind of dangerous because it feels like they're like ready for a celebration, like they're expecting a celebration coming up. Texas A&M's a pretty darn good team here, but what's your sense for Vol Nation heading into all this?
Yeah, keep that BVS, handy. Well, I think, look, I agree with Mike. It's just you watch these guys play right now, and they're just such confidence, and they're just like Prager. I'm excited to see him pitch against them, whether that is Saturday or Sunday. But I'll be okay. Here's the second time through. Okay, here's the third time through. It's just they wear you out, and so I think Vols fans should be excited and should be confident. I checked in for my flight earlier, and this is my anecdotal belief that I'm going to be on a plane full of orange. I mean, I checked in at 7:45 exactly, and I got A48.
Yeah.
That tells me there's a lot of people. This is my Southwest app. It's a packed plane, so. It's a packed plane going Saturday from Nashville to Omaha. Or, well, I guess this is St. Louis. Then you connect in Omaha.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see – I don't really know I don't know the Texas A&M aspect of this. I don't even know exactly how far away College Station is from Omaha. I mean, whatever. They're both flights. But I think the Vols are going to have – I bet you they have 2/3 of the stadium.
You can get standing room only tickets on StubHub right now for $449 per ticket.
Holy crap, really?
Standing room.
Yeah,
$449.
I mean, and look, maybe that's the Aggies.
Maybe.
But
it kind of feels like
Tennessee fans have been waiting for a championship.
Yeah. And that's for game 1. So I would imagine that's going to go up for
good Lord.
Potential clinching games. Would be
Standing
my
room.
guess. Standing room. $450 a piece on StubHub.
I'd like that's an interesting. I'd like the comparison of that. The same time going into Friday, going into the final series.
Yeah.
How many times have we seen it with that kind of demand?
I don't know. And then, you had the Mike Wilson take earlier of if they pull this off, best coach, best program builder in college baseball, Tony Vitello, if they get this done. What do you think of that?
I wouldn't write it.
It's spicy.
It's spicy, yeah. There's a little bit of smoke on that take. But, look, in terms of a quick turnaround and then sustained excellence, it's incredible.
Yeah.
So, but that's, there's so much in the term program builder, right? And there are some things, that is one of those things to me where it's like you kind of need more years.
Yeah.
Like, 1, you could fall off. 2, yeah, I do think, like Mike said, I asked him the question about Vitello and other jobs, there will be other people coming after him who think that, yeah, Tennessee, you did a great job there, but like this is a baseball program. And like, a Texas, for example, also basically prints their own money. So, so I think the program building thing, I think there does have to be a little bit more of a long-term aspect to it, would be my response to that.
I'm sure Peyton Manning probably going to be there this week. He was there
he already was,
last weekend.
And it didn't mess him
and
up.
It didn't curse him. So is the Peyton curse broken? Is it too early to say?
Well, as people have pointed out before, he was there when
they beat Alabama.
Yeah. I think it's probably good then.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm just throwing it out
him
there.
being at the Alabama win.
I remember
and
when
also a College World Series win, right?
When they used to sit there and look at Peyton Manning come on the screen, all the Vol Twitter freaked out like, no! No! Get him out of here!
Well, like 2 years ago when like we spotted him, he was sitting with Bill Haslam, I think.
Yeah.
And it was like, Peyton's here? Oh, they're going to lose to Notre Dame, huh? Well, and it was like, oh, yeah, right, they're going to lose to Notre Dame. Sure, they will.
And then, boom.
And then
lost.
they did, yeah.
Well, Joe, have fun in Omaha this weekend.
Thanks. Can't wait.
I'll
say hi to Mike Wilson for you.
We'll have you covered on Monday, see if Tennessee has won a national title or not by then. That does it for us today. Force Company coming up next.
Yeah.
A little bit more Nick Keyser. This is 102.5,
Let's go.
106.3 The Game.